Here's how building a network has allowed me to grow my passive income portfolio as an investor. Now, when you think of an investor, you don't always think of an entire team of people. And when I first wanted to become an investor, that wasn't at the top of my mind. I wasn't thinking, oh, I can't wait to hire the right team to help me manage my portfolio. Now, as I grew as an investor and I started investing into more things and they were vastly different from each other, that's when I realized that, hey, managing this portfolio is probably going to take quite a bit of my own effort. So if I wanted to make it a little bit more passive again, I can kind of push that scale and make it more passive by hiring more people. So whenever you're investing, you have kind of like this scale that you can kind of move back and forth on. If you want it to be less passive, you want to do things yourself, you're probably going to be somewhere on this side of the scale. If you want it to be more passive and you want to hire people and have a team in place and systems and SOPs and everything, it's going to take a little bit more work on the front end, but you're going to slide that scale over to the more passive side. And so you have people where they'll see an investment and they're like, oh, that's real estate. That's not passive at all. You're going to have to fix the plumbing. You're going to have to fix the leaky faucet. You're going to have to help them oil their door hinges when they're squeaky, like all that stuff. Yeah, if you have one house, maybe that's the case. But if you have 100 houses, there's just no way that you could physically do that. So how are people doing it then? How are they making their portfolio so passive and making passive income off of these investments? Well, they're willing to give up part of their income in order to have the right team in place. So they're hiring property management services, they're hiring a handyman, they're hiring cleaners, they're hiring all these different individuals, and these people are building like a team around their investment. So their investment is being handled not by them, they're off on the beach somewhere, they're in the south of France, whatever they're doing, right? But their team is handling their investments. And so if their team is handling their investments, that puts them in a really nice position to collect passive income because their team is working on these things. And so this kind of brings me to the point where, how can I build this passive income portfolio with more passive investments rather than just trying to figure them out one by one on my own? And the answer is a network. Now, I've spent many years building my network. It didn't happen overnight. And the thing about building a network is that I thought that I had to go in there with such a strong expectation and like, hey, I'm networking with you because I want to do business with you. But sometimes for people, that's like a little aggressive. And they're like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, I'm just hanging out, man. And so you have to go in there with the intent to meet people. But I would actually take it a step further where you're not necessarily expecting anything from them. That's okay. That's baseline. That's what everybody's doing. The good networkers are not expecting anything. They're there to network. They're there to chat, to make friends, whatever. But you can take it a step further and you can start providing value to these people that you're meeting. And so that's been a huge game changer for me. That's allowed me to help grow my portfolio because I go into these networking events, I go to these business conferences, I host my own conferences. When I have some sort of business discovery, when I learn something new, when I have a new tool that I'm using, I look for people that I can immediately give it to. And I'm not talking about sell it to. I'm talking about me giving people this thing for free. And I'm like, hey, I built this cool thing. It's working for me. Why don't you try it in your business? Why don't you try it with your clients? Why don't you try it with what you've got going on? And so that allows me to build up like sort of like a goodwill with these people because I'm giving them stuff for free. Which, by the way, it could cost me something up front, and it usually does, by the way, but I'm providing value to them. And I'm not doing it because I expect anything in return. I'm doing it because I want to be generous with people and I want to lead with value. I don't think that you can ever give away so much value that you will go out of business. I mean, theoretically, if you look at the mathematical side, the logical side of it, you could, but I've never seen that happen because people will always want to return that goodwill to you. And so they will always want to give back to you. And again, we're not doing this with the intention of getting something back. We're doing this with the intention of leading with value. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be monetary. Sometimes it's just a kind word. Sometimes it's just some sort of maybe consulting or guidance that you could provide. For example, if you're a marketing expert, you're watching this, you go to your next networking event, and this person is just struggling with marketing. Well, traditionally we might think, oh, wow, well, this person needs marketing and I do marketing. Maybe I could just get them to pay me and then I'll tell them everything. And we kind of create this little paywall between that person and you. And that's fine, maybe for like an extensive marketing deep dive, whatever it might be, right? like an extensive marketing project, if it's not too hard for you to just give them a little bit of marketing advice right then and there, I would do it, because that's going to open the door for you. Another way that you can do that is also connecting people. So for example, maybe you know a marketing guy, you go to an event, somebody needs a marketing guy. And so you meet John, you're like, hey John, I know you want to improve the marketing of your business. I actually work with this company XYZ. Now company XYZ, they do amazing marketing. I've worked with them before. And I just want to connect you two over text. Is that cool? And so if that person allows you to do that, obviously connect them. But now here's the thing. Now you feel like you've only done one action, but in reality, you've helped two people. And now you've built up goodwill with two separate people, which is super cool, because now this is very interesting. Now that person that you just met at the event, they're like, wow, this guy's the coolest guy ever. He knows everybody. He connected me to this amazing marketing team. They're helping me grow my company. Like every time they, their business grows because of the marketing, they're like, wow, I remember this one guy, Austin, I met at the event. He introduced me to this marketing guy. What a great guy. I can't wait to help him out somehow when I have the chance. And also, likewise with the marketing company, because marketing company's like, man, Austin's the best. He's always sending people my way. Like, what an amazing dude. He's always sending referrals to us. And so you're benefiting two people here. And now notice, I'm not expecting anything in return, but maybe someday, somehow, one of those people will come across an opportunity and they're going to think of me. And so I want to be top of mind for them, because I'm looking for great opportunities. And so if they're deciding between 10 people or 5 people about who they're going to give this opportunity to, maybe it's a limited opportunity, I want them to think of me. I want to be the first one to see it. And so I'm providing as much value as I possibly can. And by the way, most of the things that I'm invested into right now, I've learned about in this way. Most of the companies that I bought into, most of the businesses that I bought, I have learned about them in this way. By building relationships, by leading with value, and it's allowed me to expand my portfolio. And it's much better that way because you have personal rapport with them as well. You're not trying to like find some dude on the internet and then like also provide value at the same time and also negotiate a good deal on buying his business, because quite frankly, it's just some person on the internet and they don't know you. And there's no like personal rapport there. I like having that personal relationship with somebody and providing some value to them, so that when they have an opportunity, I want them to also provide some value to me. And again, I'm not disappointed if they don't do it. I'm not expecting anything, but it just inevitably happens. Those people, they also want to share. And the more you hang out with winners, you'll notice that a lot of them, almost all of them, are very generous. And that's how they got there. They got there by giving things away. Generous people oftentimes are very successful because they just give and give and give and give and give. And pretty soon that momentum builds up, and it starts raising up their own business, and their business becomes successful so that they have more to give. So as long as they never stop giving, that's kind of how it works. Anyways, building a network, a strong network in many different industries has really helped me grow my investment portfolio from many different aspects of it, from referrals to even just like somebody backing me up or like support or vouching for me, sending clients my way, giving me opportunities to invest in, giving me businesses to invest in. And it's really helped me grow my portfolio very, very quickly. Alrighty guys, that is how you leverage relationships to grow your investment portfolio. I'll see you all in the next video.